Brandon Sanderson podcast. We're a bunch of mega fans giving you the news, discussion, and of course, a whole lot of opinions about Brandon's works and the Cosmere. I'm Eric, and joining me is Ian.
Hey, I'm Rewriter. Are we doing show and tell at the end? Or
after intros. After intros.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also joining us is Evgeny.
Hello, I am festive, and I almost forgot to be festive this year.
I know.
I found my trusty beard ornaments that I've been using for years now, and we are celebrating not Head Munching Day.
I mean, belated Head Munching Day, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know. I came up with a different holiday that I forgot.
Well,
we
it certainly was
that.
belated. That's for sure.
It's like, it's not even the day after Christmas where we could have Boxing Day, which is also scheduled.
Yeah.
But...
All right. Yeah, it's true. That's true.
Oh,
Indeed.
yeah. I hadn't even realized that. Yeah.
And last but not least, we have Veronica.
Hey, I'm Cheyenne Sedai on Discord and the forums.
Awesome. And I am Chaos. And today we're going to talk about the State of Sanderson. It was later than it usually was. We were all planned to go live last Tuesday, but it wasn't out last Tuesday. So then we were out. So we're doing it now. But before we do that, we do have some show and tell.
Oh yeah, we do. Look! What a ride!
You guys have leather bounds.
We have leather. We have the alloy shadow
because we're
bounds.
adults with discretionary.
Yeah, and you're not. Well, you're an adult, but you don't. You're a college student.
Yeah, I'm still a student. I don't have the money to spend on leather bounds. All that is going towards the special edition. Well, the Dragonsteel editions of the Secret Projects.
They are
because I won't be able to get them at the time, but I probably will.
Yeah, I really like this Milan.
Yes,
so good.
Yeah,
nice.
She is really. Did we look at? Is that Miranda Meeks?
That's Miranda Meeks. Yeah.
I think it is.
Okay. Yeah.
And on the back of that, by the way, is Bleeder, which is also a fantastic.
Oh, I want to see that. Oh yeah, I've seen it. Yeah. Yeah, now I remember.
Which I think looks
really
amazing.
Nice.
What really caught my eye, by the way, was, and this is going to be a little shiny, but this
honestly more visible than I expected, given our studio lights.
I really like this one.
Good. So good. These are nice. I really like the gray. Like it's really nice. I really like these.
I've seen a lot of pictures of people posting them with the rest of their Cosmere leather bounds, and they look really good.
Oh yeah, I mean all the leather bounds are fantastic products. They are very expensive. For my Well Ascension reread, I did read it out of the leather bound, and it was very readable. It's nice. You do need to be careful, but I don't put a case on my phone, so just don't drop your phone. Don't dump stuff on your leather bound. You'll be fine. Maybe not your advice for most people.
Yeah, that's how I approach my health insurance. I figure if I just never get sick, then I don't need health insurance.
Yikes!
Anyway.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you guys have leather bounds. I have this. Let's see if it focuses.
It's holiday.
They gave me this kit for Christmas, and I've been working on it.
That's super
since.
cute.
It's coming along really well.
I'm so glad your camera is working well for that. Your camera is going crazy in this room.
Yeah,
it's very confused.
Your camera is incredibly confused as to what adjustments it's trying to do. Oh, by the way, for those of you listening on audio or on video later. This is a Shardcast live, which is great because that means I don't need to edit it tomorrow. So there will be more pauses. It's more of a stream. And also, if you are wondering where this is on the YouTube channel, it's no longer under videos. None of the streams are under videos anymore. So I don't think anyone's actually going to find this later. But it's just under live, and I'll still put it in the Shardcast playlist. So you'll be set.
Okay, that helps.
Yeah. So, and obviously, the Shardcast playlist is right on the YouTube channel front page. Also, I do really love the beard ornaments because every year we get lots of comments of people just viciously hating it, and your engagement gives me energy. Yeah, it gives me energy. It's good.
No, I'm not gonna keep them for the entire episode. In part because I can actually feel them like falling down, and I don't want to like deal with having to reattach them all of the time. But I think I'll keep them for a little bit just for kicks and giggles.
Oh yeah, Chad is right. There's another group of people who absolutely love the bells, and the other people are like, "This is unwatchable."
So I think the people who are most upset about this are people who are like listening to this on just audio, right?
I get the comments on YouTube too, man. That's both.
Well,
anywho, not sure how much we can engage with chat because it's gonna go out on audio and stuff. But if we've missed anything, please put it in chat. I'll incorporate it into the episode. So, State of the Sanderson. It was a little late, and honestly, not the most interesting State of the Sanderson, all things considered. Though I think we kind of said that last year as well.
The last few years haven't been the spiciest, which last year did not have any hints of the secret novels. So who knows what the future brings. This is also the 10th State of the Sanderson.
Oh, wow.
Really?
It's not 10 years since the first one, but it is the 10th.
Apparently he did say that, oh, maybe next year I'll be able to explain to you why my year was so strange.
Yeah.
And we did figure that out in March. So that's fine. But
and he does have something like that here as well, right? He said last year there was this stuff that I couldn't talk about. This year has other stuff that I can't talk about, which he then later on just says is Hollywood stuff.
Yeah, makes sense.
So hopefully by this time next year we are going to know what this stuff is.
Yep. So I think first of all we should talk about spoiler policy. So we're probably going to talk a bit about Stormlight. I don't think we're going to do any like plot spoilers, really, just like very broad things. But there's a Stormlight 5 title and we want to talk about that. But like otherwise I don't think we're really getting into much. So just so you guys know. I think. Yes.
There's a thing that kind of touches on Lost Metal thing.
Okay, let's put Lost Metal. It's not a plot metal. It's not a plot metal. Okay.
No.
Wow. It's after Christmas. I'm chill. I'm relaxed, and I'm not all here right now. It's not like a big plot thing, but yes, there is a Lost Metal reference in State of the Sanderson that we will bring attention to. So.
I would say that even if you haven't read the Lost Metal, it's going to be safe for you to listen to us talk about that.
Yeah, but just so full disclosure. So cool. I want to start with probably the most exciting thing. He talks a lot about the secret project stuff, which we'll get to. But of new things, the number one new thing, Stormlight 5 has a title. And the things can change, but, Brandon said it on the title, it's pretty good. And book 5 is called Knights of Wind and Truth. What do you think of that?
I think that Brandon has a track record of not sticking with his original book titles in Stormlight.
True.
3 out of 4 times.
That's true, but this is one. He seems more confident about this one.
He does.
Like
yes.
This was not like, Song of Changes, The Rhythm of War. We had a few variants like that, but he never seemed very confident about those, in my opinion.
And by the time he's actually writing the book, because, years in advance of, him touching those books, he has thrown out potential titles, Stones Unhallowed.
Yeah.
For book 3, when it was supposed to be Seth's book, but, obviously when he was writing it, that had to change. But, once he's
High Prince of War.
Yeah, to High Prince of War. Yes, I remember that. He was talking about that Way of Kings era. That was a long time ago. Yeah. That's not what this book's called. Yeah. But like for book 2, he didn't really announce a title until he eventually got to Words of Radiance. Because like he mulled around like Books of Endless Pages, but it's not going to be called that, right? So I'm pretty confident it's going to be very close to this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I will say, while I'm not the biggest fan of the blank of blank and blank format, we have the Ketek thing to deal with, we have the in-world book thing to deal with. There's so many conditions on this title that I'm like, if this was the best Brandon could do that fit, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, and I know there's a contingent of people that's like, oh, well, he shouldn't be constrained by the Ketek.
Sure.
And I'm like, true. But if he didn't want to be constrained by the Ketek, like that was a decision to be made in book 4.
True.
Like when you do 4 out of 5 with a pattern, it's like not doing it with the 5th is like, well, you were kind of making a promise. It's like you're not beholden to it, but like, really?
Also, I would just like to say, lots of Stormlight titles are super generic, and like this one's pretty generic. The Way of Kings is a really generic title. It's like you could fit that into a lot of things. And Words of Radiance, I like that title better, but it's also pretty generic. And so Knights of Wind and Truth are, I mean, it's that very high fantasy sort of thing, right? And so I think it's fine.
It's a title construction that's very in vogue at the moment. Like, there's a lot of books following the blank of blank and blank.
Oh, sure.
It's like, it's fine. Like, it seems to be working.
Yeah.
In terms of like publishing.
It is. There is something to be said about like unique and evocative names, right?
I mean, not every book can be the Night Brigade.
The Night. That's
Night Brigade is so good.
Like, he's just like saving all of like the good titles for like the Night Brigade.
The Silence Divine.
Yeah, that's
Silence Divine was such a great name.
Yeah,
that's a good name.
But I was thinking of like, you know, the 100,000 Kingdoms, right? It's a great title.
Good title.
The whole Jade series has great title, like Jade City, Jade Empire. Like having this through line in your titles in the series is great. Knights of Falling Hairbrush. Knights of
it's the wind there, really.
Winds and what is it? Wind and Truth.
Knights of
Wind and Truth.
Yeah.
Okay, because I keep wanting to say Wind and Stone.
Yeah.
But that's obviously not the case.
No.
It's fine, right? It's a serviceable title. It's not one to write home about.
Yeah. I will say it's really funny when I saw this like format, because we've had so many discussions about this format of titles just with other people in my career. Literature, by the way, for those of you who don't know.
Nice.
Just people like, it's become so popular. There are better titles out there. It's like,
it's fine.
It's fine.
It's like, at this point, we're not going to be buying the book based off of the title.
No, absolutely not. And I don't think anyone who's read Stormlight 4 would. And I think it's about at the level of Words of Radiance for me personally. And I'm like, that title's fine. But no, Google, I'm not going to put ads. No, stop it. It's not a good time to insert ads.
Welcome to Squarespace.
So, yes. Obviously, there's gonna be some Windrunners. I know, big spoilers,
and some Truth Runners.
Yes, obviously, like the Truth, that's gonna talk about some Seth stuff and Shallan stuff,
and Shallan stuff,
and also, I wanted to point out that this title has major Kaladin Zeth shipping energy. And I think that's really important to note, because it really does.
I mean, that and the concept art we got a couple of months ago.
True.
Well, yeah. But they would be a terrible ship.
them's fighting words right there. I think that would be
fight me.
I think that would be a good for ship it or rip it. Yeah.
I think so. I am coming off the high of having seen Wednesday just recently.
Wednesday,
and
good show.
And Wednesday Enid is the kind of ship that I stan, but that's because they are like polar opposites. Kaladin and Zeth are just like two flavors of brooding.
It's true. Look,
that's fun.
Look, it doesn't have to be fun for them to be together. Okay. Anyway, we don't need to get on this big discussion.
I will just say that there's some great, funny titles posted as options in the comments and the live for people who are seeing this later. If you want to go see that.
Yeah, exactly. But I think the title's fine. Presumably, like some truth of recreant stuff as well. I imagine. I think that's an implication.
Yeah, and truth of Mishram.
Yeah, Kalak, Mishram.
Yeah, so I like that. I love it, really.
Yeah, because Brandon's spoken about like the front five are more focused on the Radiance, and the back five is more focused on the Heralds.
Yes.
So it's like getting all of like resolving the outstanding mysteries about the Knights Radiant.
Yeah.
I feel have to happen in this book.
Look, he can't just call the book Bod Mishram is Badass, which, like, I mean, I'd love that title. I don't know if anyone who doesn't watch this show would understand. It's like, oh, Eric's gonna love that title. But
you can't spell things out so much.
Look,
it's going to be good for marketing.
Do you remember that Tor wanted to try and name book 2 just Knights Radiant? And Brandon's like, that's a little too on the nose. That's the thing. That is the thing.
Oh, I don't remember that.
No, I remember.
I think they also at one point wanted to name it Lightweaver.
Yeah.
Just Lightweaver.
Yeah, I think someone mentioned in the comments earlier that book 3 was supposed to be Skybreaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I remember that one.
I mean, that would make
but Brandon would never name a book Lightweaver
or
of Wrens.
Lightweaver. It's true.
That's a deep cut.
That is a deep cut. Who? Okay, chat. Who knows what Evgeny's joke was talking about? Does anyone of the 174 people watching this live know what that is referring to?
Also, if you are watching non-live,
put in the comments
before we spoil. Just tell us if you remember what Lightweaver of Wrens refers to.
Remember? Have you heard of it ever?
I'm a Shardcaster. I have no idea
what
you're talking
about.
It's
so good. Oh, excellent.
David, you don't count.
David
and Funny don't count.
What? Yeah. Okay.
Betadel has it.
Liar farted all
yes.
Okay, that makes
nice.
sense.
It's kind of fun doing a live thing. Because like if this was a regular show, then we would say the thing, and people would be like, "What are you talking about?" And now we can just like get instant feedback of like, "Do you know what the hell we're talking about?" It's very ancient lore. Who even knows how Dragonsteel's going to be structured anymore? None of that matters anymore, in my opinion.
I mean, we'll talk about that later in this episode, I imagine.
Oh, I guess that's true. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Any other Stormlight 5 title thoughts? I think that's probably the biggest announcement, really.
Yeah.
Truth being in the title just makes me want Truth Watcher stuff.
Yeah.
Look, there's Renarin and Relaine stuff. That's confirmed.
I
know.
I don't know how he's going to fit it in, but it's confirmed. So. Cool. Well, I think the next thing to talk about, and I don't know how much we want to go into it, but Brandon was talking about the secret projects and talking a lot about Audible. And so, to sort of set the stage, the ebooks to backers are going to come January 1st. So that's when we'll get the stuff. And the ebooks for non-backers will be on sale about the 10th or 11th of each month. This will be true for all the secret projects here. Cool.
And I believe ebooks is both read and audio.
Yeah. I'm just separating out audio. And so in the audiobook section, Brandon talked a lot about Audible's stranglehold on the audiobook market, and whew, it did seem a bit like really yikes, actually.
Yeah.
Apparently,
I knew it was bad. I didn't know it was this bad.
Apparently, authors, or actually, the non-audible cut, I don't even think the author part is this percentage, but the non-audible cut, the part that it's giving to publishers, 40%. Ouch. Which needs to be split
Industry
between...
standard is 70.
Well, yeah, for like games and stuff. Like it for those of you who don't know, in like say the video game industry, like Steam was 70% and Epic was like, that's too low, and like so it's kind of insane that Audible's giving 40, especially when you consider audiobooks like a part goes to publisher, part goes to narrator and author there. Like there's more cooks in the kitchen there. I don't know.
I don't know if audiobook narrators get residuals. I think they get a flat fee.
Maybe. I'm sure it probably depends a bit, perhaps, on contract. Again, we don't know the publishing industry, but I imagine different contracts depend on those. Maybe for really big things, the narrator get a residual, but I don't know.
Brandon
Funny saying in chat that he believes Michael and Kate have said they have a flat rate.
Interesting.
Brandon has been in a bit of a crusade against Amazon in the past year or two. So it's interesting to see where, if anywhere, that's going to lead.
Yeah.
Because Audible owned by Amazon.
Yep.
Which I have an Audible subscription.
Yeah.
Because like it's cheap.
It's convenient.
Yeah, like, it is really cheap.
$15 for credit to get a book. It's difficult not if you're like me and you're fine listening to audiobooks.
Right.
It's hard to resist.
Yeah, and honestly, like if you buy them without credits, they're like pretty expensive. But on the other hand, it's $15 seems very cheap. Like maybe almost too cheap. And like I don't want to seem anti-consumer. Like there's a balance between being pro-consumer and also pro-artist. Screw the corporations. I don't care about them. You know. But not that Audible should get zero cut, right? Because hosting audio files and stuff that does take a lot of bandwidth. But you know what? We're streaming this on YouTube, so cry me a river. Like, just saying. Like, give me a break. It's not video files. You'll be fine. But, man. $15 for, like, Rhythm of War on audio is, like... That almost seems a little too cheap to me. Maybe that's a hot take. I don't know.
Yeah, that's like the flaw with, like, the credit method.
Yeah.
All books are on American Audible because I believe it's different in other countries. Like they have half credits and stuff.
About that,
but doesn't matter how long the book. If it's 4 hours, 1 credit. 60 hours, 1 credit.
How many is Rhythm of War? Like 100 something?
No, it's like 50 some, I think.
Oh, okay.
I
had the impression it was longer. Okay.
Hours, not dollars, I think. But again, I don't listen to audiobooks because it's hard for me to process them. But I know so many people love audiobooks, and that's fantastic. And ultimately, I do think Brandon's right. More competition is good. The only thing I'm concerned about is Amazon does this thing where they try and make things so cheap to kill competition, right?
Yep.
And how you defeat that is challenging because obviously low prices are nice for consumers, for sure, right? Like, absolutely. But like, ultimately, if prices are too low for too long, then authors can't make a living. And not that Brandon will be fine, but like other authors trying to break in, like this is a long-term issue.
Yes.
Obviously, Brandon will be completely fine, and we should not like cry for Brandon, right? But he's trying to advance the industry, not like his own interests. It feels like, especially with that Speechify deal. Speechify's like, oh yeah, we'll give you the full cut. And Brandon's like, I don't really like that.
No. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and as a literature student who eventually wants to be a published author, seeing these kinds of things is scary.
Super scary.
I mean, breaking in is harder than ever. Like, even with the internet, even with all the information we have now, we can research how to do query letters, and it's easier to contact agencies and editors and all that. There are more people writing than ever. You have, Amazon and the indie market to worry about, like, if you're going traditional, and it's just really, it's harder than ever. And so seeing the stranglehold that Amazon has, whether it be like ebooks through Kindle or audiobooks with Audible and everything, really, it's sometimes like, am I really going to? And that's kind of discouraging. And so,
absolutely,
I am glad that we have like big authors like Brandon who have a recognizable voice in the community, who can have an impact without taking a stand, actually being like bad for them and killing their career.
Yeah,
like working to like get this out there, get awareness, move the conversation, and maybe it will change. We don't know. But at least people talking about it will help.
Yeah, and I want to be a writer too, Veronica. And yeah, reading these things, it's like, whoo, yikes! This does not look fun, especially with Brandon saying if you're not exclusive to Audible, 25% cut.
Yeah.
Wow, jeez, awful. Despicable. And at the same time, Audible can do that because so many people like, all my stuff's on Audible. I don't want to have a different app, which I totally get, right? Like, totally makes sense. Same sort of reason why like people like having all their stuff on Steam, right? So, it's sad. Also, another crazy number: the Lost Metal pre-orders were 75% audio, which is really big. So,
yeah.
I mean, I assume there are lots of people that are getting like both audio and ebook, or audio and physical, because other people like to have the physical edition, but like ebook and audio are far more convenient. So
yeah, ebooks are really nice.
Yeah,
I don't think this is like transitioning more towards this like the secret projects.
Yep.
I don't remember if it's mentioned here, but it did get announced at Dragonsteel that Michael Kramer and Kate Redding are doing the audiobooks for the first 3.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep. But
which, to be honest, I'm not the most excited about.
We should
like
talk about that.
They did a huge thing about like having Reddit threads about like, hey, like give us suggestions for new audiobook readers.
Yeah.
That does seem pretty bungled, in my opinion. Like, you don't like. If they didn't do that announcement and they just went with Michael and Kate, I don't think anyone would have had any mind. Yeah. But like, if it's, hey, we want to try and get different audiobook narrators, and then you just do the same one for 3 of them, that's like, not great.
And especially since like Brandon's doesn't always use them. Like, he's made a point in the past about like trying to have different narrators for different series.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't have like an emotional connection to them because I didn't do Wheel of Time audio.
Right.
So it's just like, I'm like,
Yeah.
But very good.
I don't do audiobooks, but from the samples I've listened to from the Skyward series, the narrator there sounds delightful. I'm like, I want more of that. Because like she has, and I mean it's different genre, right? It's YA, it's much more action packed, but like the narrator has a lot more energy than Kramer or Redding, and like I want variety at the very least.
Yeah.
And Travis Baldry, who is the narrator for the Cradle series, which I particularly enjoy, actually did samples on his YouTube channel of Secret Projects 1 and 2, and he did a really good job. I'm like,
oh, I want to go listen to those. Yeah,
that's a bummer. I imagine Michael and Kate will do great, of course.
But Michael and Kate are great. That just I think we all wish we had more variety.
I just don't know why they would do a thing asking for more variety and just going the same thing. Like I don't understand.
I mean, I have to assume it's either that they, tried a bunch of people and weren't happy with the quality, or something with like this shift away from Audible. Maybe it was difficult for them to like do another weird thing or another new thing with these audiobooks, and so they were like, okay, well, we'll just go back to what we know for narrators.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. The exception is Secret Project 4, right?
Yeah, that's a different one.
I'm very curious to see who's going to narrate that.
Yeah. But yeah, so for print books, they have not received Secret Project 1 yet, but they'll be shipping them once they got them. And honestly, I gotta give Dragonsteel credit. They said that these would happen in 2023, and we got these before 2023. They started shipping them, and so
the timing wasn't always the greatest,
especially when you expect to travel. Yeah, but
needless to say, the day after I leave.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, as soon as they're getting those books, they're like ship. They got so many to ship out, so they're gonna barrel through those, and I'm so excited to see the physical book of that, because that is going to be a pretty book. Very pretty book. But y'all will have to just be satisfied with the ebook for now. Oh, and on our side of things, we will be having some Secret Project 1 episodes in January.
I'm so excited for those.
Don't you worry. So stay tuned for that. Anything else about Secret Project stuff?
No, I don't think so.
Cool. I mean, those two are the biggest things that we have. So this might be a shorter Shardcasty episode, which I'm fine with. I've been enjoying. I didn't travel for this Christmas. I'm having a great time, just relaxing. But what else do we got? Brandon was talking about the Words of Radiance Leatherbound Kickstarter. He has talked about this on streams, but I don't think we've talked about it on the show. So Brandon's just like, hey, we were originally planning to do March for the Kickstarter for Words of Radiance, but we kind of haven't shipped out too many of these, and we want to show that we can, do all these things, right? So the Words of Radiance Leatherbound Kickstarter will be delayed to fall 23, which I think's fine. I think that's totally fine.
I'm very glad about it. The next opportunity to spend multiple hundreds of dollars on you, Brandon. That helps my budget.
Yeah, it does. It does. So some of us have a thing happening in March or something. Who'd have thought?
Yeah.
It's when my wedding is, and people on this call are heading there. So
The only downside that I can think of to pushing this back to fall is that depending on where Horn Eater slots in, there might be a weird overlap between that and one of the secret projects.
Yeah, but
that's an us problem, unfortunately.
That's an us problem, yeah.
So here's the thing, though. Dawn Shard came out with Way of Kings Kickstarter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But like that came out the
later,
November,
yes.
because like the Kickstarter was like May, right? So it wasn't when the Kickstarter launched, so it wouldn't intersect with the secret projects at all if it's fall 23 for this Kickstarter starting.
That's because Dawn Shard wasn't written.
Neither's Horn Eater, so that works out great.
But it's like we still have 3/4 of a year for it to be written in advance.
Yeah, that's also true. But I think that Brandon would want to not release it in fall of 23 because of the secret project.
Like, why not like first half of 24?
It might be an early 24
right?
thing.
Yeah. I agree that would make pacing better, right?
Are you gonna make a comment on how Brandon put 4 books out in a year and that he's not good at pacing himself?
When he didn't need to.
5
books.
Yeah, because we're getting
5 books.
Defiant.
Yeah, Defiant.
We could have used these books to like
6. Dark One Forgotten is next
okay,
year.
we'll talk about that in a second. That's not the same.
Still.
Yeah.
That's a book.
But that's okay. That's okay. I do not think Horn Eater is gonna drop during the Kickstarter month. I think it will be a bit later. I think maybe
that's reasonable.
Dragonsteel Prime might. I'd have to look when because Way of Kings Prime came out like July, right? So that it still wasn't even the same month as the Kickstarter, I don't think. Like he did it a little later. Like after the Kickstarter was done and the backer kit was done, I think.
Yeah, probably after the backer kit.
Yeah. This is a great chat comment. What is Horn Eater? What did I miss? So that is the next novella, like Edge Dancer and Dawn Shard. Presumably going to have rock stuff after he left in Rhythm of War. Yeah. What else could it be, right? So
yeah, and it'll be between books 4 and 5.
Yeah. Let's just not have it come out like a week before book 5. That's literally. I don't care when it comes out, just not right then. That'd be great, thanks.
Yeah.
That was not ideal.
Brandon hasn't been kind to our spoiler policies recently.
Deep breaths. Deep breaths, guys. Woo! Okay. Cool. So I'm kind of happy that's delayed.
Speaking of Defiant earlier,
yes.
That's coming out. It's the fall 2023 main book. It'll be what Dragonsteel 2023 is themed around.
Yep.
And so he's planning to do revisions on that in January, and that's also when he'll be sitting down with Jancy to plot out the sequel series that she's writing.
I am very excited.
And the con is scheduled for November 20 and 21st, I believe.
It's the week of Thanksgiving, yeah. So I can actually go to it without asking for time off work, which is great for me. So I think I might actually go. But I planned to go last time. But yeah, that is exciting. So just put some more books in 2023. That's good. It's perfect.
Yeah. Might as well let's just get all of the scheduling nonsense out of the way in 2023.
Yes, please.
Just everything happening that year, and then 2024 and on, we are back to normal schedule.
I do think for Shardcast in 2023, guys, that I will almost always enforce it being every other week, because it's been a lot. We've put out a lot. Like, I think maybe the only thing that will be exceptions is Secret Project and then the WoB stream right after. But otherwise, I don't think I'm going to have any back-to-back anything at all. And you know what? We'll just put stuff back to 2024. Please. Whatever. Yeah. There's WoB episodes for days that we need to do. When are we going to do them? I don't even know. White Sand Omnibus is out, guys. Finally. Wow. No. People have received physical editions. I've seen pictures that someone has actually received it. I think the soft cover, not the premium hardcover that are the most expensive ones. So, cool. I think my favorite part is Brandon's like, oh, it's coming out soon, as if it's not like already able to be purchased. But whatever.
No, it's fine. You can open purchases to the public before your backers have received their copies. That's okay.
Yeah, there'll be an omnibus episode, that's for sure. Yeah. Oh, and speaking
that'll
of
be quarter 2 during Secret Project 2 time.
Yeah, we are cramming a lot into.
Might be February. We'll talk about it. I think we could fit in an omnibus episode in February, but we'll see. Depends where we put WoBs, of course. But Speaking of White Sand, actually, Brandon says, I am more and more likely to put out a heavily revised prose version of the novel, as it is Cosmere canon and quite relevant.
This is by the way, let me decipher Brandon's words here. Okay? I have been in his head, and what Brandon is saying here is, I am as mad as I can be, which is like 3 out of 10 for Brandon.
That's true. He can't really get that mad. That's true.
That Dynamite has crapped all over my precious story. And I am annoyed that people are not getting the version of Chris that I want them to get. So I'm going to Thanos it up and do it myself.
Yeah. That's a good headcanon, honestly. Like,
yeah, I think it was a mistake for Brandon to do White Sand as a graphic novel.
I totally agree. Absolutely.
It's like,
yep.
What you think the magic system that is like ribbons of sand in a world where it's only daylight and they glow, but they can't see the glow was a bad idea?
White on yellow.
More because like he wrote it as graphic novel adaptations of like existing prose are never as good as a story written to be a graphic novel.
Because Dark
they're very different mediums, and it's just like, because he had very clear image in his mind of what the story of White Sand is, and I don't think that story fits as a graphic novel very well.
Yep, I don't think it fits as a novel very well either, but we'll see what he does.
Honestly, I agree.
And Brandon is developing a pattern of releasing prose versions of graphic novels he releases, because like he's doing it again with Dark One. I'm just like,
he is.
It just makes me not excited about graphic novels if there's just going to be a prose version eventually, because I would prefer to read the prose version.
Read the prose version,
yeah.
Which I will, and we will, right? And Fairness is probably going to be the best version out of the 4 that we've consumed.
Probably will. There are some good things the graphic novel could do. Admittedly.
It's just like not a good look for Brandon, in my opinion. It's like, oh yes, like release the story as a graphic novel, which they are more expensive than traditional novel, and then you like release it as a print novel, like, and people have to buy it again for like mostly the same story. It's just like, but like not gonna be the same, which is gonna make wiki editing hell.
Even better.
Oh my god!
I cannot wait. I cannot wait for the White Sand movie adaptation.
Oh, great.
It's gonna happen.
That's really gonna be first. That's gonna be first, right?
So people are gonna get super excited about Dune, which the sequel is coming out I think next year, and then Brandon's gonna be like, "You guys, I got a story to capture the Dune audience. It has sand and creatures that live in the sand that detect the tremors of your footsteps as you walk around."
White Sand has always just been kind of like not an incredible story to me. So it's like,
I like the prose well enough.
Yeah.
I mean, also, I do need to shout out Jonathan Whitmore from the chat saying this is Ian's villain origin story. No, it's not. My villain origin story is definitely Brandon coming up with either stupid names for things or reusing names that he shouldn't be using in certain situations.
At Metal Harmonium, Shadesmar Cognitive Realm,
and Bobbin, terrible,
and Bovidin not being a dragon. Have I gotten these in order?
Bovidin and Edgley not being dragons. I'm like, he's allowed to be wrong. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
That does not make me angry.
Excellent. Nice.
I love Potty's comment in the chat.
Nice. Yes.
No, Ian's villain origin story
so
is bad. Not really saying Adamant.
Yep.
Everything I know about Adamant, I know from what Ian has said about Adamant.
Go to Arcanum, read the reading he did from it, from a Conquest many years ago. It's a cool story. It's Silence of the Lambs in space.
Yeah, Silence of the Lambs in space, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just hard though to be excited about graphic novels if Brandon's like, yeah, but what if I do a prose version? And like, because Dark Side is the cooler side anyway, and I just want to see that. And like, and honestly, not to spoil our critically important White Sand Omnibus episode that we will do eventually. The prologue is really good and the art looks pretty good. It's nice. It's good stuff. If you haven't bought it, it's good. But now it's like, oh, here's the Omnibus, the definitive edition, until there's a prose version. It's like, oh, no, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Like, the worst thing for me about Brendan considering a prose version is the thing that all that hard work that Isaac and the artists and the betas that have put their heart and soul into the omnibus, because I know stories from people who love this.
Rip
and
Boombox. It's gone. Rip.
And have been working on the omnibus for such a long time. People are just not going to get to see that because everybody's going to default to the prose.
Yep. As will I. Cool. What else do we got? There are unnamed Dan and Isaac Cosmere novels. They're going to be produced in-house, and there won't be much to announce for a while yet about these, but I
imagine those might be in next year's State of Sanderson.
Maybe.
We'll see.
At least Isaac.
Well, I mean, Isaac is like, I don't think he's going to work on anything other than Boatload Mummies and maybe The Arcanist.
Yeah.
For at least another year. Like, if he writes in the Cosmere, I think at the very least, Boatload Mummies needs to either be finished or needs to be trunked. Otherwise, I think that's his highest priority. And Dan is like in the very early planning stages in that. And they talked about it, I think, either in the blog or intentionally blank.
I think both.
Probably both, right? Where they're like, well, we've come up with a corner of the Cosmere with a world. So we've got like not even world building. We've got an idea of world building. No story, no character, nothing. But we're gonna sit down and we're gonna plan these things out.
Do you want to explain what Boatload of Mummies is to the audience who might not know what that is?
How could anyone possibly not know Boatload of Mummies?
Probably most people watching this, in fact.
It is Isaac's kind of early forays into writing into the Cosmere. It's a Mistborn story that follows Nikki Savage, or Nacelle Sauvage, as she goes somewhere to investigate something, and they're apparently
presumably mummies on a boat.
Although I think that's not the final title, right?
No, it's definitely like a working title that's somewhat of a joke. It may be accurate, but he started it as his NaNoWriMo novel last year. But,
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Now that you say that, Everett, I think Isaac said that Boatload of Mummies follows the little story that we see with Nikki Savage in the broadsheet for the Lost Metal. She has an encounter there with Naz.
Of course, Naz is involved. Of course,
yeah.
It's Isaac character.
And without spoiling the half-page story, Naz runs away and she wants to catch him. And so I think Boatload of Mummies is going to be her like either looking for him or trying to catch him or following in his footsteps or something like that.
Yep, that sounds fun.
Yeah. And as for Dan, I definitely agree with Brian that he's just so busy with other stuff. I mean, he has Dark One, and Dark One Forgotten that's coming out next year, and his own stuff and Moonbreaker. There's so many things going on with Dan that Cosmere is a long way off.
Yeah, because there's Dark One Forgotten, which is coming out in like 2 weeks.
Yep.
Which is a true crime podcast set in the world of Dark One. And then there's the novelization that's not a novelization. Because this also makes me mad because it's like you're not even just adapting the story of the graphic novel. Like, no, it's like going back to the original outline and then going off in a different direction. I'm like, okay, how compatible are these stories going to be, Brandon?
Why?
Why
are we doing any of this? Just watch us fall into despair here. Just like, but why though? Like, I just don't understand.
But why though?
Yeah, but yeah, like Dan stuff's gonna be a while away, and that's fine. I'm excited to see what they cook up. That'd be cool. We do need just more Cosmere is good, right? And yep. I would certainly be more excited for those than lots of other things like Dark One Forgotten.
Speaking of co-writers, there's a few interesting things I noticed.
Oh yeah.
The Reckoners gets a shout out.
Yes.
Lux came out last year saying like no updates currently. They're considering more books in this series. I'm like, the end of the book really kind of suggests there's going to be more.
Yep.
I like how it just said, like, did you enjoy Lux? Do you want more? Like, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on a limb and say that maybe the reception was not the best.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also possible because it's an audio exclusive thing.
Yeah. Wow, crazy. I bet you'd sell more if it wasn't audio only. But okay.
Yeah.
Also interesting, in the Legion section, zero mention of the Legion book that got released this year.
That's true. There was a Legion audio exclusive. Stephen Leeds, Death and Facts.
Oh, Death and Facts is okay. I was like, wait, what Legion book?
Yeah. Even Brandon forgot about that. Oof. Yikes. I feel bad for whatever co-author that was, because, yeah. There was I like chat. There was like, wait, there was a Legion thing this year? Excellent.
Yeah, it's like we didn't do an episode on it because we didn't have time.
Yeah.
And
because that was in the middle of all of the secret project. Like, we had to record 10 episodes or whatever.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like June.
I don't remember the timeline on that, but yeah.
We're kind of done then. Yeah. But also, you talked about it on the stream, and it didn't sound very good.
Yeah. Lefty Teft, no. Lux was not the one with the moving salt city of Ildithia. That is Calamity.
Oh yeah, that's Calamity.
Lux is a flying city.
Not made of salt.
Not made of salt.
Yeah, I haven't read any Legion, but I listened to all the IOL episodes because that's what I do sometimes.
They're fine.
Legion is fine.
They're fine.
Yeah,
there you go. They're fine. You can go listen to our old episodes on Legion and give us some views on that.
I think the Legion books are worth a read or a listen, and then you're like, okay, fine, that was an experience that I experienced. It was fine.
It was fine. Yeah.
I mean, it does have the "You are infinite Batman's" line, which is so good.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense out of context. So go read it to learn what "You are infinite Batman's" means.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty good.
I do remember them talking about that on IOL, so yeah.
Yep. No, Legion's not for a young audience. No. Legion's adult. Then there is a line in the things Brandon's tinkering on. Here are future. Let me just read this. Here are future novels that you might be able to expect in the Cosmere. Night Brigade, Threnody novel. By the way, it was never called Dust Brigade. Just want to point that out. That was a mishearing. It was I think it was supposed to be Dusk with a K. But it's been renamed to Night Brigade. Dragonsteel, Hoid backstory series. Silence Divine, Ashen novel. Interesting that it's a novel now. It used to be novella.
I had forgotten about that.
Yeah, like for so long it was novella.
I always thought it was going to be a novel.
No,
I think it was. I think it was discussed as a novel originally. Then it got shifted to being a novella.
Okay.
For like 6 years at least, it's been novella, if not more, like 6 to 8 years.
For a while.
Aether World series, Mythos series, New Planet. This is the off-world nickname right now. We'll see if/when any of these appear. And some people were like saying, wait, is Brandon considering not doing Dragonsteel? I do not think that is actually
I
the
don't
case.
think so.
Because he says if he'll do that.
Oh,
right?
I think that applies mostly to like Aether series and Mythos series.
Honestly, like, even Night Brigade probably like
yeah.
Dragonsteel is one of the core pillars of the Cosmere.
We're gonna get Dragonsteel. We're gonna get Dragonsteel, guys. I'm not worried about that.
He just probably put it in that thing because it's so far off in the future. I mean, other than Era 4, it's the last thing that he's going to write, if I'm not mistaken.
Elantris sequels. Oh, last in... Okay.
Yeah, in the Cosmere.
As in,
real world time.
Before finishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Elantris sequels are on the table. We'll talk about that in a WoB episode sometime. But they are on the table. Here's another Cosmere thing. Tor's re-releasing the original Mistborn trilogy and new covers, and I really like the covers. Check them out.
I really like the covers.
They're actually probably my favorite Mistborn Tor covers, actually.
Yep. Agreed.
So they're coming out... When are they coming out?
I think January, February, March, like they are a month apart.
No. They're coming out on Valentine's
January, February, or February, March.
Yeah, they're coming out on February. I would put them on screen, but I didn't plan that. So, Final Empire or Mistborn and Well of Ascension, they're both coming out on Valentine's Day. And Hero of Ages is March 14th. Go check them out.
Interesting.
It's a stream, so I can't put them live. If I remembered to prep this, I could have, but I didn't. So there.
Just gonna hold your phone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sure. Why not? Screw it.
Production quality.
Check it out. Wow. Look at that. Ooh, it's phasing into the background. Even better. Incredible. This is really the best way to present these. Incredible. Go check Brandon's Twitter.
You gotta look them up.
Look them up. They're nice. I really like them.
And on social media, so.
Yeah. Cool. So then I think the only other thing that's a bit surprising to me is how Brandon's saying about Hollywood that even we might not have a Hollywood announcement next year either, which is kind of surprising because definitely like earlier this year, like May, June time, Brandon was like, I would be shocked if we weren't filming this time next year. And so I'm cool with having a little bit of breathing room there as a Brandon Sanderson content creator and as god of these places.
Please.
I'm fine with that. But yeah.
I'm not quite ready to quit my well-paid job to produce content for Brandon.
Well, I mean, I don't think any of us could do that. So, let's be honest. I am thankful to all of our patrons and everyone who views. It is incredible. That's not paying for anyone's salary.
I think between the Patreon and all of the ad revenue, we come together to about a salary.
Very, very, very low salary.
If you are not living in a city and you're living in a rural place, yeah, sure, yeah, absolutely. So no Hollywood stuff, but Brandon has been doing a lot of Hollywood stuff and a lot of Hollywood meetings. We've done an episode talking about that. You can go check that out when we're talking about adaptations.
it's just funny having done that episode and being like, please, 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 let there not be any announcement until this comes out at least. And now we're like, okay, it might be another year. And honestly, I am very thankful.
I'm totally fine. Yeah, I can understand.
I breathe.
I'm totally cool if people in the comments and things are like, I was really looking forward to something. I'd want it sooner than later. I totally get that. Note that our perspective on making content and running a fan site is very different, and adaptations are a big stressor, and I'm hoping, even with Secret Project craziness, to actually de-stress on. Maybe that's naive of me, but
I
have a plan.
It is more stressful to deal with new announcements and new things, which 2022 was full of, than to deal with the things that were announced coming out, in regular intervals or whatever.
Yeah, I can plan. I can plan for that. That's fine.
Yeah, we can plan for Stormlight 5. Even the betas who read the books couldn't plan for what was going to happen this year.
And Stormlight 5 is in 2023, so this is great. Everything's good. Everything's good. I do want Stormlight. Look, of things that I desperately want to read, Stormlight 5 is definitely top on the list and way higher than adaptations. But I wouldn't be surprised if some of the Hollywood stuff is Brandon's like, I need to spend more time working on Stormlight 5 in the next bit. Like, I would not be surprised if that is the case.
Oh yeah, this reminds me of something he talked about in, was it? I think it was the Dragonsteel Convention Intentionally Blank Q&A panel.
Okay, I haven't.
Oh
seen
wow!
This.
Okay.
All right.
I know I've watched it. I don't know what.
Which was, I think, the most recent IB episode.
Yeah.
And one of the questions, which I don't remember exactly, but it touched on kind of, hey, Brandon, you have been doing a lot of things in Hollywood. How do you expect your life to change if or when something happens in Hollywood? And Brandon, in typical Brandon fashion, talked for about 7 hours. But
sounds about right.
The relevant takeaway here for me was that he's like, doing screen stuff, doing adaptation stuff takes a lot of time from everyone involved and the author, executive producer, whatever, especially. And so I would want to find a way to not have the pacing of Stormlight suffer because I am on set however many weeks in the year.
Yeah.
Which is true, because Brandon's talked Stormlight gets pushed back, everything gets pushed back, literally everything in Cosmere. So it's a big concern.
But and in terms of how much time it takes for authors away from writing to be on set, for most of production, I've mentioned him a million times when we talk about adaptation. Rick Riordan has a couple of blogs on the Percy Jackson adaptation, and even if he's putting out 2 things next year, one of them is co-authored and was written a long time ago, and the other one, I think he started before they started working on the adaptation, actual filming. And he says that it's like working a day job again. And so that cuts back on hours a ton.
Ooh, Brandon's not gonna like that part. I think he's very fond of the waking up at noon part of things.
Yep.
Have fun with those 12-hour days on set, buddy. Cool. He talks about Moonbreaker a bit, which is Soul Burner. I don't think there's anything for us to talk about there. There's some audio.
I need to listen to the stories. I haven't done that yet.
The stories are fun.
Cool.
Where can you listen to them? I had forgotten about that.
Where podcasts are served.
Great.
Yeah, I for me, Moonbreaker's just it's a mini game. I don't. That's just not. Even if it is the best possible game that it is, I probably wouldn't be interested. So I just don't really care.
Yeah, it's a very weird genre, I think.
Yeah.
like there's a hole in the market in that there aren't many or any games in that genre, but I also don't know if there's a demand for games in that genre,
exactly.
right? But
True.
The audio dramas are fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool. Then the State of Sanderson. State of the Sanderson. I always, for years, I keep saying State of Sanderson, and it's never been State of Sanderson. It's always been State of the Sanderson.
Yep. Well, because it's supposed to be State of the Union, right?
Yeah. But what if I just Mandela effect myself? Okay. What if I just do that? But then they talk about Dragonsteel, the company, and just introducing a lot of staff members and things, and the company's grown a bunch. I don't know if there's anything really important for us to talk about in that. Did you guys have anything that you're thinking about with that?
No, just that it went from 9 in 2014 to 60 this year.
That sounds about right.
It was fun recognizing names.
I mean, it went from 2 at the beginning, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I find it endlessly amusing that Emily's title at the company is Queen.
Yeah.
I'm like, I knew I liked you for a reason. Emily. It's just yes.
If you ever get a chance to meet Emily at a thing, she is delightful.
She is.
Which, anytime she's on a stream, also delightful. Her and Brandon are super cute.
Yeah.
But yeah. And Brandon talks about the projected schedule, which is check it out. It's everything that we thought it would be. The print releases that are not for backers. Tor is publishing the print books of the Secret Projects 3 months delayed from when backers get them. So Secret Project 1...
Except Secret Project 1. That's 4 months.
It's not exactly. It's the end of June. It's basically 4 months, Veronica. It's off by a week. It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's planned to be 6 months after the book is officially out to... Right, so the ebook, the ebook comes out in January.
Yes.
First. Tor print comes out in June, right?
No, April. 3 months, not 6. It's 3 months.
Either way, it's coming some amount of time
after. It's basically every 3 months after.
I'm mixing this up with our spoiler policy.
Yes, that's the 70% spoiler policy. Yes. Every 3 months, basically, you will get the wide release of that. But expect our content to be the time when backers get it. But you guys can always buy the ebooks anytime. But but I'm interested to see how well the Tor editions stack up to the very fancy Dragonsteel editions, because I imagine they will be very normal by comparison.
Yep.
I know that's... I wasn't able to do the hardcovers back when the Kickstarter was going on. I know I'm gonna do my very best to go for the Dragonsteel editions, at least for the Cosmere Secret Projects. I'm not so interested in Secret Project 2 in getting a fancy edition. I can just get the Tor one for that. But I really want the fancy Dragonsteel editions for it.
I am interested in seeing the covers for those, because it's I like the covers for the Secret Projects, but there's a different set of considerations based on the format they're doing.
Yeah,
it's limited color palette. It's they're phenomenal, but I'm okay, so I hope that Tor does something very different. I'm interested to see what that is.
Yeah, variety is fun.
Yeah. So, and then November November 2024, to be clear, that will be Stormlight 5. So, very, very exciting. So, I think that is about all the news. Any other news items that caught your eye on this?
Nope.
Wow. Look at that. Hour 10. What is this?
Oh, wow.
We're back to 2017 length Shardcast episodes right here. Boom.
Nice and easy.
I feel like the first time we did a State of Sanderson episode.
Uh-huh.
Like it was a bonus episode and it was like half an hour.
Yeah, it was like 30-40 minutes.
Yeah, but see, then I realized that it could be a main episode and then we don't need to do one.
Yeah.
So anything else from us? Or sorry, let me say that again. It's not cut. Whatever. We're on a stream. This weekend, we should be having the Dragonsteel Con Shardcast recording come out, probably. So that we were talking about the spoiler Q&A that happened at the con. So that will be that episode, and then we are moving on to Secret Project 1 stuff all January, I think. So, yep, and future Lost Metal topics will be later. There's a lot of stuff going on, so there will be topics later.
Yeah.
But we got through the core set of Lost Metal stuff that was like absolutely necessary to get done immediately, I think. So I'm pretty happy.
Yeah. But at least we didn't have to, like here on Shardcast, we didn't have to try to do what we tried to do on World Hours. Like, well, we can't, I mean, we don't have episode, like, topic episodes. Not yet. Eventually we will.
Right.
That recording was very long, as Argent can attest to. It's going to be split into 2 parts, and I still haven't edited that.
Yeah, I mean, that was... Yeah.
Yep. Well, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go on to Who's That Cosmere character, and because we're doing it live, and I also didn't do a lot of this production stuff ahead of time, none of this is going to be on screen, so everyone viewing this is going to get the authentic Shardcast cast experience, where there's going to be no intro into the thing. No clues are going to be on screen, and you're going to have to try and remember what the clues are, which is what we have to do
them down
every single time we do this. That's how this is like. So
and you get multiple minutes of everyone just like looking at their bookshelves or their ceiling.
Yeah. Look, we can do 45 minutes as that Cosmic character. We're not going to. We're gonna just do 2. We're gonna do 2 from our priority queue. Yeah. So no song. Yeah, just think of the intro music yourself, and the cool animations. We're still gonna be like this. That's how we're gonna do this.
There's animations?
Yeah, I put tons of new animations in the Shardcast since Lost Metal came out. I'm very pleased with them.
It's like transitions between.
Yeah. No, they look nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
we don't have like an animated intro.
No. Oh God, no. No. Sorry. I wasn't meant to imply that we have such high production value.
Although I think it would be cool if we had like an animated intro with like, you know.
Void and Jack on a horse.
No, like animated versions of us just like doing, you know, exaggerated JoJo attacks and jumping around the screen. I think that would be hilarious. Someone in the chat do it.
That sounds expensive. Cool.
Yeah.
So, for as little, so you can support our Patreon for as little as $1. But our highest tier patrons can send in Who's That Cosmic character priority queue guesses, words. I don't even know, guys. Whatever. And this is going great. I talk for a living, believe it or not. You might not believe it, but it's true.
No.
And so you will get it read before like a year or 2 after you submit it. So wow, what value, right? So you can go do that and support us on Patreon. And so that's what we're going to do. And so you know how the game's played. You send 5 clues in a character to wtcc at 17shard.com. I read each clue aloud, and these guys have a chance to guess who's that Cosmere character. Now, for you 3, minimize that chat.
Yeah, I closed chat.
No
I already did.
Yeah. So this one is sent by Voted. And clue 1, this character's spouse is dead. I know.
That does not narrow things down.
I know. This is a really good first clue. I gotta be honest.
Kelsier.
It is not Kelsier.
King Iadon.
Well, for both of you, you both said King Iadon, and I guess you said no. It's not King Iadon. Sorry. Clue 2. This character has strong ties to religion.
King Idris.
It's not.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. His name is Dedalin.
No, it is not a King Dedalin.
I don't discover my article.
That's true. You did. You did. Indeed. No, it is not them.
This character has strong ties to religion.
That's correct, Ian. But Veronica, your guess is not correct. Sorry.
No. I understood what.
Yeah. Cool.
You were saying, yeah.
Welcome to the blank space, where there's blank space that we'd cut out in the actual episode that you just got to hear on the stream here. Nice.
Also, It's funny. You said voted and.
Yeah. Sorry, Ian. What?
Wax.
Oh, see, I thought you said Vax, which would be an avant-garde guess. No, it is not Wax.
No, because like he's the champion of a god. That's
yeah. I would say Wax qualifies with those clues. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It's just funny because you said voted, and my immediate you said the first two letters, and my mind immediately went to Vodalus from Book of the New Sun, and I was like, wait, no, this makes no sense.
No.
Yeah. I was wondering when you were going to bring a Black Company in here.
Yeah, that's true. No. Every episode Veronica's on, she mentions the Black Company. Every single one.
No, this is the Black Company. This is Book of the New Sun.
Okay. Clue 3. This character is charismatic.
Vasher.
It's not Vasher. He's not.
Good, yes.
I mean, he's enigmatic. That's to some people charismatic.
That it ends in matic, but I don't think that those are the same thing.
He led armies.
Chat has gotten it indeed. I won't say who yet, but. I see that, Madison. I'm amused.
Charismatic.
I'm pretty sure Kelsier was the correct one, and whoever submitted the question was just wrong.
I definitely disagree with you on that one, buddy.
I mean, you have 2 clues more than we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if they don't fit, they're wrong also.
Yeah. See, you all in chat have it so much easier because you can read what other people's good guesses are and be like, oh, that makes all the sense. Whereas, like, these 3, it's so hard. It's so much harder doing this live.
It is.
Like, it's really hard.
Because, like, you see our shame of just, like, sitting here for so long.
I have no shame.
Yeah. So, the character's spouse is dead. This character has strong ties to religion. And this character is charismatic.
A land.
It's not a land. Veronica, who you got?
Yeah. Oh. What is it? Well, now I'm missing his name. Oh my god. Not Raythin, his
Dilaf?
Dilaf, thank you. I knew it was at the end.
It is Dilaf. Very good, chat as well. Very good. I think clue 4 and 5 would have made it very obvious. Clue 4, this character appears younger than they are. Great clue, honestly.
It is.
And clue 5 is this character is deformed. He is the Decor monk in Elantris.
Yeah.
It is
Freaky Bones.
Freaky Bones. Agreed. Excellent one.
I am excited to see more of that magic system in Book 2 of Elantris, which is apparently called Decor.
Yeah. We gotta talk about that. Cool. This next one was sent by Lemurny. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And clue 1. This character has multiple siblings.
gift.
K-Ice.
Nope.
The sibling.
No, I like it. I like it. Oh, that's true. That's nice. Clue 2, this character is dead.
Halloran.
It is not Halloran.
Ooh, that's a good guess.
It is a good guess.
Just making my way through the multi-child families on Roshar.
Yeah. Because
this character is dead?
This character is dead. They
Okay,
themselves
so
are dead.
definitely not Syl, because she's the opposite of dead.
I mean,
What does it
she
mean
kinda
for Spell to
died.
be dead?
Yeah,
you
and
know?
that's dead
She
clue also
is currently
disqualifies
not
the
dead.
Adrian royal family.
Well, you know.
Gone into Shadows are considered dead, and they're kind of like
true.
Spren.
It's true. That's a fair point. You could guess
What does
Syl.
it mean to be dead?
Now we transition to our main topic for this episode. We're done with the news section. Let's talk about cognitive shadows.
I feel like a dead Spren is a specific thing, and they do not identify her as a dead Spren. Now I don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Well done.
Sibling.
That's dead clue. Does not help.
It's
A lend.
It's not a lend.
Yeah, he does have multiple siblings.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Vin, I guess.
It is not Vin.
How?
Clue.
Oh, I guess. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reen and her half-sister.
Yeah.
The one from the spike.
Clue 3. This character had an invested art.
This is a big stretch because I'm not sure on the multiple siblings part, but considering the background, it may make sense. Kelsier?
It's not Kelsier. Didn't
It was
that
like
be
noble
guessed?
family. There's a possibility there.
Yeah, true.
Fendurana.
It is not Fendurana.
Clubs.
It is not clubs. Cool. That's all of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool. Clue 4, this character's unnamed.
Oh, great.
It's a notable person. It's not a random it's okay. I promise. I promise this is okay.
I reserve judgment.
No.
Okay, has chat gotten it? That's
Yes,
my question.
Chat has gotten it. Yes.
Had invested art.
Yep. Had an invested art. Is dead. Has multiple children. Not children. Multiple siblings.
Vin's baby sister.
It is Vin's sister. Very good.
I got close.
Yeah. I was like, that was nice. You was like, oh yeah, Vin's sister. Yeah, it's totally Vin's sister. Nice. Well done. I think Punny was the first one to mention that actually in chat, but someone's like, oh, some chat already mentioned it, but I don't see it. So sorry if someone else. But yeah. Oh yeah, that's true, Jacob. The clue was had an invested art.
Well, I mean, because
it is
that
sad
because
was
they
just
died.
because past
True,
kids,
but it was
because
also
they
spiked
died.
out, which I think is funny.
Yeah.
Nice. Well done. I like that one. Sometimes unnamed characters are good, and I think Ben's sister is at least like a notable enough one that I think that's good.
I agree.
Yeah.
In this situation.
Yeah. Oh, the other ones? Oh, I guess I shouldn't delete the line on this before we read the other clue. The clue 5 is this character was a Scot. So.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Nice. Well, we hope you enjoyed this shorter episode of Shardcast. Wow.
Yeah,
we're not at 90 minutes. Whoa, crazy.
Wow.
Well,
wow.
Let's not pat it.
No. We are not patting it. So you can find us on 70shard.com for our news, discussion, theories, and fun that you could ever want. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud, YouTube. You can support our Patreon for as little as $1. I believe some cool art commissions are coming sometime soon, Argent.
Yep, that's like probably tomorrow, maybe the day after tomorrow. We'll see.
This week, and
this year.
I'm pretty excited. This year, yes.
I am committing to this year for one of them.
They are very cool.
What a hot take. Cool. So, yeah, we will see you all next time. The next one we'll record will be Secret Project 1 reactions, but this weekend should be, assuming all goes well and the footage is okay, the Dragonsteel episode. If it goes horribly, nice. I'll let you know, but it should be fine. So we'll see you all next time.
Bye.
Stay tuned for news on how we're gonna deal with Discord channels in the new year.
Oh yeah,
that's also coming
we've
soon.
only been talking about it all December in our staff chat. It's like, this is the thing we need to decide before January. It's like we've basically gotten good enough.
Keep an eye on the news channel.
Yep.
If you have the news channel muted, unmute it.
Yeah.
If you know someone who has the news channel unmuted, go and unmute them.
True.
Unmute the channel.
True.
For them.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We're done.